So I fixed our leaky door problem. If you don't have doors, you can't have leaky doors.
So if you guys remember watching any of our trail damage videos, you'll remember that these stock factory diff covers were starting to become damaged and aren't known to be super strong. So Kevin and I, while we were traveling, ordered a few parts and they were waiting for us when we got here. And they are the Motobilt JL diff covers. These things are practically bulletproof, which, ironically enough, we plan to prove to you in an upcoming video. But we wanted to go ahead and waste zero time in getting them prepped, ready, and installed on the Jeep for our very first off-roading excursion since we've been back. So I know you can't really tell the weight of this thing just through the video, but I can guarantee you it's pretty heavy. You can see how thick it is. It's insanely sturdy, and it's really well built. But it does require a little bit of prep work before you put it on the vehicle. So the first thing to note are the bolts. And it even comes with a little note on here to remind you, but they do require cleaning and painting before you put them on the vehicle or they will rust. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. We're also gonna go ahead and clean the diff covers themselves, make sure all the oil and grease is off of them. We actually really like the look of the raw metal. So we just bought a couple of Rust-Oleum rattle can clear coat. We're gonna use this to paint ours. So first things first, we have mineral spirits, which is what we're going to use to go ahead and clean these bolts off. And we have our handy dandy empty Pepsi bottle here that we're going to use to put them in. Oh God! Don't forget to take those out before you do that, like I just did. So while those are soaking, we're going to go ahead and clean the diff covers themselves as well. I'm also going to go ahead and clean the inside just so we don't get any of that stuff inside the diff itself. Whew. So obviously you don't want any of that inside the diff. So I'm going to go over that one more time, make sure it's nice and clean, and then we'll start painting. All right, so everything is officially sprayed down. Plenty of coats of paint on it. We also have the bolts nice and clean, but the sun is starting to go down, unfortunately, so we will let all this sit overnight, and then we'll get everything installed tomorrow. Okay, so pretty sure we have everything we need to go ahead and get this job done. It's sort of a one banana job. You don't really need to pay a shop to take care of it for you. We've got our Motobilt Diff covers. So these are 3/8 inch plated steel compared to the stock ones, which are 1/8 inch stamped steel. And although I'm not really concerned about anything puncturing the stock diff covers, it's more of a concern of the lip of these things catching on a rock and peeling back. With the stock ones, that's a lot more likely to happen. Dump all your diff fluid on the ground and leave you stranded on a trail than with these babies. Nothing's gonna peel that back. So we've got these, they are painted. Kevin and I really liked the raw metal look, so we painted them in matte clear. You can see Kevin added a little bit of a personal touch with the red color there. But we've got those ready to go. We've got all of our bolts. We have all the tools necessary, including the oil for the diffs. They take about 2 quarts a piece, front and rear, of 80/90. We've got that. To drain these stock ones, all you're gonna need is a 3/8 ratchet. We've got that, along with this little guy. It's a 14mm hex socket, which this is what you're gonna use on the plugs for the Motobilt diff covers. We've also got a pump to go ahead and pump all the oil back into the diffs once we've got the new covers on. And I think that's about it. Also towels, because I'm pretty messy when I work on cars. So let's go ahead and get going. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and loosen the fill plug. And although we're actually replacing the diff covers, so it's not the big a deal, it's a really good habit to have to always loosen the fill plug before you loosen the drain plug. The reason for that being that if for whatever reason you were draining your diff fluid and you loosen the drain plug first, and then you go back later and realize that that fill plug is stuck or rusted in or something along those lines, you're screwed, because at that point you've lost all your diff fluid and you have no way of putting any back into it. So it's just a good habit to have in any type of diff situation. Loosen the fill plug first, make sure that thing does come loose, you're good to go, and then go ahead and loosen the drain plug. All right, so good to go there. Now for the drain plug. So the stock diff cover bolt is a 10mm, so we'll go ahead and break all those loose and get that diff cover off. drill. Got it. All right, last one. And
easy. Come down, it's gonna drip.
off comes
Boom.
the OEM diff cover. You can tell. Here, hold on. Just for the sake of visuals, you guys can see the difference in thickness.
There you go.
There you go. That's why we're doing this.
There is a reusable gasket that is there.
Right here.
We're just gonna leave it on because it's still in place.
Yeah, hasn't shifted, so I'm gonna leave it there. All right, so keep in mind the new bolts that Motobilt provides are a 5/16 12 point. So definitely not a 10mm socket. You're gonna need a 5/16 12 point. All right, Kevin, let's go. Let's do this. So once you've got everything tightened down, you can go ahead and go around and torque everything. And then from there, we get to pump oil back in. Yay. Okay, so once you've got the new diff cover on, all the bolts tightened, you've got the drain plug tightened, that's where that 14mm hex is going to come into play. That's what you need to use to tighten down the fill plug that Motobilt provides for their diff covers. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let Kevin give everything one more tighten down since he's got a little more upper body strength than I do, and then we'll move to the back.
The drain is up on the side right there. So it's not on the bottom. So you're gonna have a lot of diff fluid left in here. So even when you think it's empty, once you go to crack this thing open, it's gonna have a lot of fluid in here. So watch for splash or anything like that. The front isn't like that because the drain's actually on the bottom, this one's on the side. One thing we did forget to show you on the front plug is the drain plug is magnetic. So you can see all that metal buildup from the gears wearing in from it being new. So you definitely want to get that off. That's all metal shavings mixed with the oil. You definitely want to wipe off and get completely clean.
Okay, so once you have followed the same exact steps as you did with the front diff cover for the rear diff cover, you're done. That's it. Very simple. Like I said, kind of a one banana job, but here she is in all of her glory. This is the rear diff cover. So you can see here, we also went ahead and got the plug cover. This is for the electronic locker plug. That way no debris hits it, rips it out, anything like that. And ultimately, this is the final result. It looks super rad on the Jeep.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Motobilt. And for those of you who have watched our off-roading videos, this was definitely a much-needed addition to our JL. So let me get up. I'll go show you the front one. There's the front one. These things look super awesome. Woohoo! All right, let's put the doors back on it. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how, but despite the fact that we've owned our Jeep for more than 6 months, this is the very first time that we are driving with the doors off. It's beautiful in Colorado right now, and we figured, what the heck, let's give it a shot. That better? So the doors are off, and we've got these awesome barricaded adventure mirrors, courtesy of Extreme Terrain on. We're gonna go see how this works.
Yeah.
I've never driven a vehicle with the doors off before. Obviously, this is like one of the key features of owning a Jeep, but this is our first experience with it, so this should be interesting.
Is it liberating? Do you feel liberated?
So we didn't even make it
2 blocks, not even 2 blocks.
2 blocks because who wears contacts and has long hair? I do.
We didn't think that one through at all.
We did not think that through. Had to immediately turn back and go grab me a hat and some sunglasses to make this slightly more comfortable for me. So, lesson learned, first time doors off problems, always keep the hat and sunglasses in the Jeep.
Oh God, we're getting on the highway with no doors.
Oh God. That's a weird feeling. Just reach over and fold in their side mirror.
Yeah.
I love how all we had to do was take the doors off on the Jeep. And we're like 2 kids in a candy shop.
Yeah.
It's such an exciting new experience. It's awesome.
It is quite amazing. I don't know why it took us so long to do that. I know why, because it's been like raining.
Yeah, it's either one or the other. Either it's been storming when we've been on the trail, so there's always been a possibility of rain, or it's been super dry and super dusty.
Oh yeah.
And not to, you know,
bitch,
but I've got like really bad allergies sometimes, so it makes a awesome trail into like a miserable trail real quick. But yeah, this is cool. We're gonna do this more often for sure.
So, I got.
Legit, just try to lock it. What is that doing, Kevin?
It's locking the back doors.
Thieves beware! You can't get into the back doors. Stupid.